Hyperbole Award for Best Trailer. Number 5, The Last of Us.
Easy. Holy shit. Are we gonna help him?
Put your seatbelt on, Ellie.
What about the guy?
Oh, he ain't even hurt.
Not good.
Number 4, Dark Souls 2. Number 3, The Phantom Pain. Number 2, Grand Theft Auto 5.
Hey, let's bounce. Bounce. We're bouncing now.
It's getting ready to blow. It's getting ready to show. Somebody shut up like the mountain. We're getting ready to know. It's getting ready to cry. It's getting ready to shout. Somebody turn up the heat. It's getting ready to pop.
And the winner is Watch Dogs. Much of the greatness of this trailer lies in the context of its reveal. At one of the worst E3 shows ever, this unknown title's trailer blew everyone away during the Ubisoft conference. A vague, dystopian animation with some slick motion graphics gave us the rundown on the world we were about to see. This was followed by an extended gameplay trailer showing what looked like an open world with a hacker twist. Many unique gameplay features were shown in real time, a welcome change from pre-rendered teaser trailers. After some interesting action and dialogue, our collective mouths dropped as the camera panned and zoomed out, revealing the scenario was actually multiplayer and being observed by other active players. Let's hope the game lives up to the hype the trailer has created, unlike last year's winner, Dead Island.
Blunder of the Year, setting a new standard for failure. Number 5, PlayStation Vita. Number 4, Diablo 3. Number 3, Mass Effect 3. Number 2, The War Z. And the winner is...
Hello there! It is nice to be out of film for a while 2 weeks in the way. Blunder of the year? Oh no, that's a terrible error. There, error is now Ding Dong Banu, Wonder of the Year award. Old Republic is a great game, and now that it's free to play, anybody can play. We also have many exciting features for our premium players, like sprinting and guard items. As you can see on our servers, all nested trolls and wilders have been banned, so only true fans are left to experience the game. Old Republic have many great features, like big open fields and plenty of room to move around. Give them a great combat system like a Call of Duty. And it's quite fluid in this content. There are many good dialogue choices so player can play their way. And if you want, you can play as gay.
Mr. Wu, we told you before that you're fine.
Game have many great features too, like the Darth Vader and the Chewbacca.
Budget is tight enough in Bioware Edmonton, alright?
Get off of me! Me and the rest of the team at Bioware hope to see you in the game soon and we spot new to players pretty quickly. Let go, I ban you all! I am the Rhines, me, not you! I control the fun!
Nature of a Man Award for Best Writing. Number 5. Sleeping Dogs.
But who is anyone when we are all each other, part of a single great organism that never dies?
Number 4. Max Payne 3.
This was the place, if not the time, to play my dirge. It didn't come out right.
Number 3. Spec Ops: The Line.
It takes a strong man to deny what's in front of it.
Number 2. Katawa Shujo. And the winner is The Walking Dead. Telltale have created a masterful narrative road, fueled by pressingly hard player choices, ultimately leading each adventurer at more or less the same destination by design, yet compelling the player to work through the difficult choices they make. And it's a zombie game that's not in the least bit about zombies. It's a firm, character-driven tale where the player finds themselves, juggling between characters and developing relationships with them until they ultimately come and go. The quality of dialogue and storytelling is such that players perceive their choices as important and find themselves invested completely in the result. For showing us that adventure games with simple game mechanics can still be executed in a meaningful way with great narrative, Telltale wins the Nature of a Man Award.
Hamburger Helper Award for Most Atrocious Writing. Number 5. Resident Evil 6.
This place looks like it's gonna collapse too. Somebody ought to call the building inspector.
Number 4. Borderlands 2.
Perfect double rainbow all the way.
Number 3. Call of Duty Black Ops 2.
All he said was, mi hermana. That's Spanish for sister, dipshit.
Number 2. Diablo 3.
You cannot judge me. I am justice.
And the winner is Mass Effect 3. Back-to-back winners of the Hamburger Helper Award. BioWare have shown no signs of improving from the abysmal Dragon Age 2. Most of the attention for Mass Effect 3 was brought on by the lack of relevance of any of the players' decisions to the Deus Ex Machina ending. However, this worked out in BioWare's favor, acting as a distraction from the shameless fanfiction subplots and simplified good or bad choices generated by the writing team across the entire game. While the first Mass Effect gave us the beginning to a promising new science fiction world, much of the team has changed since then. It seems to be a staple of modern BioWare to manufacture controversy for both attention and to foil would-be critics. Much of the story content of Mass Effect 3 seems shoehorned in to achieve this, and instead of an interesting, engaging world being painted around to interact with, the player feels ushered through a theme park of unmemorable skits designed by an external agenda. BioWare calls this artistic expression, and we call it the well-deserved winner of the Hamburger Helper Award.
Stop It Award for raping a dead horse. Number 5. Assassin's Creed 3. Number 4. Halo 4.
Peacefully advance the cause of mankind.
Number 3. Medal of Honor, Warfighter. Number 2. New Super Mario Bros. 2.
It's clearly different from the new Wii U Mario game.
And the winner is Call of Duty Black Ops 2. This may be the last year this award is included for nominations since the franchise has won in a landslide 2 years in a row. There really isn't much to say that hasn't already been said. Infinity Ward and Treyarch take turns shitting out the same game and adding new screen pop-ups year by year. Only this year, it's Treyarch's turn to be asked to stop it for raping the dead horse that is Call of Duty.
Not So Rehash Award for updating a series nicely. Number 3. Max Payne 3. Number 2. Torchlight 2. And the winner is Far Cry 3. The third installment of Ubisoft's Far Cry series achieves a rare feat, it updates a numbered franchise in a worthwhile way. As with previous titles, the storyline is distinct. However, the open-world island setting and core first-person gameplay remains. The story, characters, and voice acting are done well enough to push the player through the game, in particular the well-received psychotic antagonist, Vaas. There are enough side quests and distractions to be interesting. Gunplay and driving are responsive and fun. Although not a groundbreaking title itself, leaving 4 years between each release, Ubisoft haven't rammed this series into oblivion, and wins our Not So Rehash Award for providing a refreshing update to their series.
Wanna hang out as friends?
I'll treat you.
Let's go as a couple.
Ah, God, we don't want to get friend zoned.
I like to think that I am different from the pack. I am different from everyone else. It's Darkside Phil's Game of the Year Awards for 2012.
Oh, that's what? What? Oh no, oh no, oh son, my arm, oh god, my son, my arm. Ugh, what the hell am I supposed to do now? What am I supposed to do? I guess I'll just fall to my death. Okay, this time. This is not the one!
I am going to go through and I'm going to give you guys an example of what I text people and the noises that I think that these emojis would make.
How's it going, bro? My name is HYPERBOLE. Welcome to... I guess the game will show you in... There it is. Slender!
Kong Award for Best Soundtrack. Number 5. Max Payne 3. Number 4. Katawa Shoujo. Number 3. Journey. Number 2. Rhythm Heaven Fever. And the winner is Hotline Miami. The only thing that can paint the game louder and brighter than its own neon-soaked presentation is its ethereal 80s-influenced electronic soundtrack, which assembles the efforts of a selection of independent electronic artists. The bizarre dialogue sections are backed by unsettling psychedelic tracks. The action music is fun and catchy with a dark, sinister tone, driving every attempt and respawn. Once each level is complete, the music is silenced and replaced with an evil drone, giving the player a solemn atmosphere to soak up what has just occurred. Finally, Jasper Bryan's Miami forgives the player while tallying the score between levels. The soundtrack correctly emphasizes the gameplay at every point, and for this, we award Hotline Miami the Kong Award.
Fuck You Award for Worst Character. Number 5, Tiny Tina. Number 4, Shepherd. Number 3, Claptrap. Number 2, Starchild.
Created to bring balance, to be the catalyst for peace between organics.
And the winner is Diana Allers. Appearing before us is the uglier, uncanny valley hybrid of Snooki from Jersey Shore and Jessica Chobot. Beyond her lazy visual design, Chobot herself offers a monotone and emotionless voice performance, a perfect rendition of the dull storyline and characterization behind her. Allers is a reporter who openly admits her agenda and that the subject of her reports, Shepherd, has full control over her content. Not only that, she is quite aptly one of the easiest love conquests seen in a video game yet. Just agree to her interviews and invite her to your bedroom. These conflicts of interest parallel those happening in the video game industry, and we question whether it was an intentional effort to try and influence the casual audience in accepting this kind of collusion. However, that's giving BioWare more credit than they deserve.
Press X to win the award for worst gameplay. Press the buttons! Holy shit! I'm not gonna die here. I gotta press the buttons! Press those buttons! Oh! Oh, my arm is getting tired. I can't press the buttons fast enough. Oh, it hurts. It hurts to press the buttons. Press X to not die. Ah! My arm. Ugh. No!
Sup, bitches? Sup, bitches? It's Chad Warden here. Alright, I'm talking about that Fiji Award. Man, they best rename that shit to Fiji Award. See, Chad Warden's been looking at the games, alright? All the games. That pussy ass bullshit. Marshall joke. I don't know about you, but that shit ain't ballin'. Alright. Chad Warden ain't gonna play as some white boy running around and fucking white cripple bitches. Fuck that shit, alright? There ain't one black bitch in there, alright? You got your blonde bitch, Lil E. You got your blonde bitch, alright? You ain't got one black bitch. One, not one. And people trying to say that them bitches, Asian, alright? Don't even give me that shit. Alright, them bitches ain't fucking white. Alright, look at them bitches eyes. Alright, bitches ain't fooling me. Alright, you know, they may be fooling we bulls. Shit, you know, trying to tell me they Asian bitches. They ain't fooling Chad Warden. Alright, who wants to play that shit? I need to shoot some niggas. Pow, pow. True niggas don't play that game. You know who plays that shit? Gay niggas. Chad Daddy stresses ABAB. Marshall Joe stresses bullshit.
BUZZWORD Award for Best Gameplay. Number 5, Dishonored. Number 4, Sleeping Dogs. Number 3, XCOM Enemy Unknown. Number 2, Chivalry Medieval Warfare. And the winner is
Hotline Miami. On the opposite end of the spectrum to The Walking Dead, Hotline Miami downplays its narrative and ensures that the player focuses on what it does well. Fast-paced top-down combat puzzles. Not only is the gameplay tight and strikingly fast, but it also requires the player to stop and think once in a while, to meticulously plan before acting. At the same time, a moment's hesitation can be a deciding factor on the outcome. The lightning-fast action it immerses the player in, and how the player handles this, can mean the difference between satisfyingly reducing a room full of armed thugs to a bloody and ultra-violent mess, and on the other hand, getting anticlimactically shot in the face. The instant restart upon death only serves to make your brutal trial-and-error campaigns painfully addictive. The game is tense, visceral, and at least initially unpredictable. It also manages to be a lot of fun, earning Denaton Games our BUZZWORD Award for 2012.
LODS of EMONE. What's they spell?
LODS of Money Award for Biggest Cash Grab. Number 5, Diablo 3. Number 4, Black Ops 2. Number 3, Ouya. Number 2, The War Z. And the winner is...
I'd like to share with you a story about how I accidentally became the villain of a massively online game in real life.
Come on, how could the winner be anyone but Anita Sarkeesian, especially with me doing voiceover? Let's be fair, her initial goal for her Kickstarter had been a mere $6,000. But even so, $6,000 for YouTube videos, ones she'd been making all along? And after receiving this money, she's made fewer videos than ever, which is to say none. 0 videos after 2 deadlines. Unless you count her speaking tour, her interview with Canadian TV, and her TEDx talk. In a way, she has given back a bit. I mean, because of her, YouTube sends me a check once a month. So, thanks for the new hard drive, Anita. And that's just from 2 videos. Real tabloid writers can probably thank Anita for a good quarter of their yearly salary. It's for this, and obviously for her terrible Kickstarter, that Anita Sarkeesian wins the LODS of Money Award for Biggest Cash Grab.
SANIC Award for Fastest Game. Number 5, Sonic the Hedgehog 4, Episode 2. Number 4, FTL, Faster Than Light. Number 3, Hotline Miami. Number 2, Sonic All-Stars Racing Transform. Number 1, Tribes Ascent.
GAMEBRYOKEN Award for glitchiest and/or most unoptimized game. Number 5, PlanetSide 2. Number 4, Mass Effect 3. Number 3, Diablo 3. Number 2, Dark Souls Prepare to Die Edition. And the winner is The War Z. After the Foundation release was made available on Steam, it became apparent that this title was rushed out in an attempt to snipe customers ahead of the release of the similar DayZ standalone. Okay. The War Z attracted much negative attention for failing to deliver advertised gameplay features. Are you gay? But the game also suffered from glitches and severe lack of optimization. Are you gay? Produced by the same guy as Big Rig's Over-the-Road Racing, there's no surprise to see glitches across the board. Graphics, sound, AI, and gameplay are all marred. Despite looking like a game from a decade ago, performance in general is poor even on modern high-spec PCs. As a result, I proudly award the War Z.
Meat and Fish Award for Most Pretentious Indie Game. Number 5, Journey. Number 4, Slender. Number 3. Curiosity. Number 2. Dear Esther.
It has turned a bright, tight pink, and the pain is crashing in on waves.
And the winner is Fez. The release of Polytron's debut title reminds us that even a small, passionate team of artists can still give the AAA studios a run for their money. By ramping up the hype and shameless self-promotion. In 2007, early praise for this game's then novel, albeit unoriginal, perspective-switching gimmick made Polytron a big name in the indie scene. And over the ensuing years, Fez received a number of awards and accolades before it was even released. Director Phil Fish, with his newfound clout, began making inflammatory comments on the web and in numerous interviews, and while this did reveal him to be every bit the pretentious snob, ultimately his reckless behavior only gave the game more press. Clocking in with a development time of 5 years, Fez simply couldn't live up to the hype. Congratulations, Polytron, but this is probably the last award you're ever going to receive.
Stylish Award for Best Visual Aesthetics. Number 5. The Walking Dead.
All by yourself through this?
Yeah.
Number 4. Dishonored. Number 3. Hotline Miami.
You've got to be shitting me.
No, I am not shitting you.
Number 2. Skullgirls. And the winner is Journey. The visuals of Journey completely shoulder the responsibility of its narrative, since there's no spoken or written dialogue at all. The story is told through 3 main environments: a lonely but fun-filled desert, an even lonelier now ominous underground, and desolate mountains of snow. Favoring impact over realism, each area has a unique minimalist style, which is designed to focus the intended emotion. The compulsion the players feel to journey together and continue onward to the goal is engineered entirely in an implicit manner through the visual design. Despite the simplicity, each area looks stunning, and some moments are truly majestic, in particular the finale, with bursting energy in its landscape. That game company truly put the power of the cell to use, and as such, wins our Stylish Award for 2012.
KOTICK Award for Crimes Against Gaming. Number 5. To mean self-insertion. Number 4. Activision Blizzard. Number 3. Dorito-gate. Number 2. EA and BioWare. And the winner is Anita Sarkeesian. If this were the Oscars, Anita would be Oscar bait. But don't hit on her, you silly boys. Because while she may look adorable, she's actually a hardened gaming criminal. We've got her on charges of manipulating discussion, ignoring evidence, and playing video games with intent to pigeonhole. She and the FBI-listed terror group Feminist Frequency are still at large, so be careful and be cautious. If you're a straight white male, it might not hurt to install electronic security, a phone tracing system, or maybe even buy a dog. Keep those curtains closed at night, because with her KOTICK Award for Crimes Against Gaming, Anita is on the prowl.
IP Twist Award for Best New Implementation of an Old Franchise. Number 5. Persona 4 Arena. Number 4. Kid Icarus Uprising. Number 3. Spec Ops The Line.
We tried to save you. You're no savior.
Number 2. XCOM Enemy Unknown. And the winner is Black Mesa. To say this game came out of nowhere would be both right and horribly wrong. After almost 8 years in development, what was once a hotly talked about project was released to little fanfare. So what did we get? Surprisingly, everything that was promised. Black Mesa took the story of Half-Life and reimagined the Earth sections in the updated Source engine. Clunky sections were cut down, weapons were enhanced, and jumps were crouched. Black Mesa's strength was that it wasn't a shot-for-shot remake made by fans with rose-tinted glasses. It was made how a remake should be, by analyzing the original, removing the bad, improving on the good, and making meaningful additions along the way. Black Mesa offers us a better way to experience the opening story of the Half-Life saga, and wins our IP Twist Award.
I am the Smegma King. Undoubtedly, you have come to witness the unfurling of Neander's penis. Instead, you will discover what force is most detrimental to gaming. Are corporations the force most detrimental to gaming? No! We wouldn't start with the winner. This isn't some intramural girls' soccer competition where everybody gets a pity award. Corporations are not inherently evil. They only commit evil acts in the pursuit of profit. If Bobby Kotick thought he could make more money sucking dicks, he'd put your mother out of business. He'd be the most efficient goo gobbler on the block, and he'd offer a stinky pinky for a mere 800 Microsoft points extra. You can't beat that. You can't beat it! Is misguided advocacy the most detrimental force to gaming? No, but it is the sexiest.
Wah! My dad once brushed against my front butt when I was 24. Now I have to disassemble the patriarchy one video game at a time. First, I'll force the role-playing game developers to make their games about homosexual black men eating each other's duty. That's a much more effective method of whoring attention than cultivating a personality.
Is downloadable content the most detrimental force to gaming? It robs games of features that either already are on or should be on the disc, and it trivializes the value of unlockable content. However, DLC primarily exists to separate morons from their money. If not for DLC, these blithering retards would spend their monthly government allowance on hardcore furry porn or, Apple products. Are the low standards of the modern gamer the worst of the worst? You and I both know that Skyrim has half the content of Oblivion and 1/4 the content of Morrowind, but the average, LOL, I'm such a nerd faggot does not. They think,
oh boy, I get to use a sword and magic and uninteresting dialogue choices.
They won't have a negative opinion on the direction of the franchise until they play Skyrim 2 and they find it only has one stat, 2 cities, mandatory interspecies homoerotic butt sex, which of course is the worst kind of butt sex. Believe me, I checked. And the winner is corrupt journalism. People don't want facts, they want hot, throbbing, veiny, pulsating, bulging, dribbling, sweaty opinions. They want IGN to tell them which casual corridor-based brown person shooting game to play while eating Doritos, drinking Mountain Dew, and soaking their extra-large Mass Effect hoodies with salty bitch tears. This is the same branch of journalism that reviews games from the same companies that sponsor their hosting fees, the same journalists that work for a game company and write favorable reviews of said company's games, then threaten libel if anybody points that shit out. This is the same branch of journalism that will publish any 3-sentence blurb so long as the headline is controversial enough to create traffic via backlinks. Does Kotaku have people investigating the fate of The Last Guardian? No. They want you to know that the phallic-shaped pipes in Mario are sexist and why it's immoral not to have sex with your house pets. Gaming journalism evokes the most damage and ill will within the gaming community via dishonest reviews, pandering, intentionally divisive arguments, mischaracterizations of persons and events, as well as outright lies. They think of their readers as children with no talent for critical thought, and you prove them right with every click. Sincerely, the Empty Hero, aka the Smegma King. Goodbye.
Now it's time for the Reddit Award for the most hated fan base. Number 5, League of Legends.
No, dude, don't report me. I didn't mean to call you that anyway. I'm sorry.
Number 4, Call of Duty.
You got fucking temperature!
Number 3, Biodrome.
Pieces of shit for breakfast?
No. Number 2, Reddit.
A lot of people from the internet, and there are girls on the internet.
And the winner is My Little Pony. With a constant and virus-like urge of insertion and need to propagate, the bronies have a need to insert their culture into your favorite video game. Threads upon threads suffered at the hands of this culture early in 2012, more often than not derailing the topic at hand. Subsequent creation of the MLP board helped somewhat. Most of the damage was already done. Is this video games? No. Maybe the best thing to do is to turn the pony culture a blind eye. Don't acknowledge it. Don't even utter a word, and let it fade into the obscurity of time. Maybe this award wasn't the best idea. Oops.
Virgin Award for Best New IP. Number 5, Dishonored. Number 4, Tokyo Jungle. Number 3, Sleeping Dogs. Number 2, Dragon's Dogma. And the winner is Hotline Miami, a patient yet decisive murder extravaganza, candy-coated in neon and synth. We are introduced to a world where the individual story arcs are made deliberately irrelevant. What remains is an adrenaline-fueled retro killfest, which creates a surreal, satisfying, but sickening experience, and it makes the player glimmer with a guilty ecstasy. With the sequel already confirmed, we hope the next iteration continues with a tradition of frantic action, parody of pretentious narrative, and themed psychotic music and visuals, while adding new masks, weapons, and enemies for the player to experiment with. With strong new competition in 2012, Hotline Miami refreshingly takes out our Virgin Award.
Most Hated Award for the Most Hated Game of the Year. Number 5, Fez. Number 4, Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Number 3, Diablo 3. Number 2, The War Z. And the winner is Mass Effect 3. There was a lot of hype leading up to the release of Mass Effect 3, on top of the already high expectations of its fanbase to finish off the trilogy in an amazing fashion. The hype included an over-the-top Take Earth Back trailer with its faux controversial child dies cliche, a publicity stunt which saw copies of Mass Effect 3 launched into space and back, and the exciting promise of decisions made across all 3 games having an impact on the outcome. The game itself was released, and while looking polished, stood upon a simplified corridor shooter RPG with an unengaging storyline. Apart from the most hardened biodrones, the fan reaction was naturally one of anger and disgust. In a surprising turn, certain high-profile gaming media personalities discounted these genuine reactions by propagating the phrase gamer entitlement. The concept of the consumer having no right to recourse or critique was one of the most dangerous introduced in 2012. And for that, we thank Mass Effect 3 by awarding it the most hated game of the year.
This really is the cherry on top of everything that you've ever done in the series. The relationships, all the major plots, the civilizations, the Geth and the Krogan, the Genophage, all of this stuff comes to a spectacular conclusion in each of those things. We've built up to a huge climax in a way that you really can't do with just one game. All of these things come to a resolution in Mass Effect 3, and they are resolved in a way that's very different based on what you would do in those situations.
Least Worst Award for Least Worst Game of the Year. Number 5. XCOM Enemy Unknown. Number 4. Katawa Shoujo. Number 3. Sleeping Dogs. Number 2. Hotline Miami. And the winner is The Walking Dead. While other games floundered in a sea of hype they couldn't possibly live up to, The Walking Dead came out of nowhere and carved its own niche. Bolstered by word of mouth and some well-timed Steam sales, a zombie-themed point-and-click adventure found itself the talking point of almost all gaming circles, each claiming to have been the first ones to discover it. Hipsters. Taking a reasonably well-known setting from the Walking Dead comic series, Telltale succeeded in adapting the IP to the gaming medium, without constructing a rushed, horrible cash-in like so many others. I've got my eye on you, Activision. Attempting something new with a tired zombie formula, Telltale created a story-driven game with purpose, and with characters that even the most cynical, jaded assholes could connect to on some level or another. Despite some bugs, especially with mobile ports, we see a fresh update to the adventure game user interface, which works well. Closely beating its polar opposite runner-up, Hotline Miami, The Walking Dead is awarded our least hated award for giving us an engaging, modest title amongst a year of disappointment.
The depths of the human mind hold more secrets than we can possibly imagine. How ironic that the means to defeat our enemy comes not through weapons or machines of war, but from within. And if we have succeeded, we will have gained a glimpse of what we are to become. We will have created something extraordinary.
You did this. No, you did. Your orders killed 47 innocent people. Someone has to pay for your crimes, Walker. Who's it gonna be? Is that you? You tell me. I'm done playing games, John. I assure you, this is no game.
いけた。やりましたよ。もう一面クリアですよ。